everybody. Welcome to another life coaching session. And this is a topic that everybody deals with from time to time. And seems like as you get older, it becomes more of an issue. You'll know exactly what I mean as I get into it. This is typically sometimes the things that people talk about when you think of life coaching, right? So I always would kind of joke around and say life coaching is more than just how do I make more money and how do I lose weight. Well, this one has to do with losing weight. So I'm going to take a stab at it. And maybe if you're listening to this, maybe you can help me out and see if anything this might apply. Because look, if you're over 30, you know what it's like to say, okay, I need to lose a few. I don't know what happens. You know, when I was 20, oh my gosh, I was 20, I weighed like about 170 pounds. And I didn't realize how skinny I was. I'm watching guys who are trying to lose weight on these fights. You know, they're doing face-offs. They were shorter than me. Getting down to 170 pounds, they have to literally emaciate themselves and get all this water out of their system and lose like 20 pounds in 1 week just to weigh 170 so they can rehydrate themselves on the next night, on fight night, walk back into the ring weighing 188 or 190. And that's exactly what they do. They drop all that weight, then they rehydrate, get the water back in, and go back out closer to their normal body weight. So I remember weighing 170 pounds and thinking I was fat, thinking I can't wear these clothes because they don't fit right, because in my mind I would see something that didn't look like something I'd see in a movie, and your leg, because I carried weight in my legs, so it's like I could never lose enough weight to get that V shape. And I realized that to get a V shape, you got to kind of build muscle, and that muscle kind of brings the top out and brings the hips in, because if your hips are here and you want to have a V shape, you got to do something up here to make it a little broader, but I wasn't thinking about that at the time. You get so focused on one thing. But this kind of really, this kind of hurt my feelings, because I know what this person feels like. When I was 11 years old, I moved. My parents lost their home. My father made a bad business deal, and I had a big house, and my grandfather built it. And he left the lot next to us open and didn't build a house there just so we'd have a yard. So I was the only kid that had a yard. And he left the trees in the yard, and it had a big apple tree and a big mulberry tree and some other tree, and we used to climb it and swing from it and do all sorts of things, and kids used to come over and play baseball, and we used to have games. It was just a lot of fun. It was just, I had a community. When I was 11, my father lost his business. We had to move out. It changed everything. And now I was in an apartment. And my friends were on the other side of town. And if you're 11, your friends are on the other side of town, they might as well be on Mars, because you're not going to see them. You can't drive. So I would compensate by, eating. And that was the fun thing to do. So I just kept eating, and I got really fat. I was a fat little kid, and then I had to actually, take extreme measures when I was late teens to kind of get my weight back down to where it would be normally. So, I was like I was little, I didn't grow. I was like 5'7", 5'8", 180 pounds, 190. And but it was just like, baby weight, there was no muscle on it whatsoever. And so I kind of kept my weight down, and like the last couple of years of high school I grew. I don't know how it happened. I just started to grow, and I kind of got out of that. But it's always been an issue. So if you've ever been overweight in your life, no matter how much weight you lose, you always feel like you're too big. You just always feel that way. If you've ever felt like you're fat in life, no matter what you feel or what you do after that, something inside of you always tells you there's a little fat man in there that's just screaming to get out. And this person wrote this, and he says, I hate meeting new people or even going to the store because I hate my weight. People say that other people's weight, or what their weight is, doesn't bother them, but it's such a lie. So I guess that's my dealer issue. It's why I'm a hermit and don't talk to anybody. You know what? I mean, that sounds extreme. I totally get it. Because when you don't feel like you look good, and when you don't feel like you can put on the clothes you want and go out, you don't want to go out. You want to wait until you lose some weight before you go out. It's a cycle. I mean, it happens to me when I was traveling on the road. Not as much now, but I'm much older now. But for years, I would go out on the road and you eat a bunch of junk, you know, and then you come home and you feel bloated, and you got to get that weight off of you to start fitting back in your clothes again. Like it's like, you know, 10 or 15 pounds of just water junk just from eating junk. So it'd take me about a week or so to get down to feeling normal again, and then I would start going out. I wouldn't go anywhere because I'd feel big. Now looking back, it was like, you know, it was like 30 pounds ago. So I would kill to weigh that down. But it's what it does up here. And it does mess with your mind, and it does make you feel like a hermit and doesn't want to go out. You don't want to show yourself because you always feel big. And man, if you feel ugly, you're just gonna you're gonna live the life of an ugly person, even if you're not. But if you feel it, that's enough. So you have to get away from that. I would suggest this, and this is you know, there's a bunch of scriptures I could quote, but you know, it's not going to help you lose any weight. Here's what I would do. For those of you that feel like you want to drop some weight, first realize whatever you've done in the past to kind of drop that weight. This is more than just losing weight. This is more than a health issue. This is something that affects you socially. And nobody else may see that. And everybody might tell you, what's wrong with you? You're fine. You look great. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't matter, because if you feel that way, that's all that matters. So understand this. Whatever you've done in the past to drop the weight, it didn't work. Even if it felt like it did for a little bit, it came back. So whatever you think about doing in the future to drop that weight, can't be what you've done in the past. You got to do something different. Because if you do the same thing again and again, right, as they say, and expect different results by doing the same thing, going down the same roads, that is a sign of insanity. I mean, it kind of is. So the only way you're going to get around it, I remember when I had to do this movie in it was 2000, the boxing movie, and I had to lose like about 30 pounds. And that's just like a 30 pounds, it's just on me, you know. It's like impossible to lose it. You know, I couldn't do it on any of the diets I've ever used before. I couldn't do it on anything I've ever done. What I had to do was go to somebody who could see things differently than I saw things, and knew things about weight loss that I did not know. So you have to get new information. You just have to. And I went to a trainer. And the trainer started to show me what to do and how to do this, and I had a bunch of misconceptions. He wanted me to lift weights with my legs. I'm like, no, I don't want my legs to get big. And he says, no, you don't understand. What you're missing is that the muscle, you know, actually tightens things up under there, and muscle burns fat. So look at your muscle as like a stove, and the fat on top of it is like snow. The more you're burning that muscle, the more that snow is melting on top. And he was right. You know, all the things that he told me to do were things I hadn't thought of before, things I didn't know to do before. So I had to do something I'd never done before to get results I'd never had before. And for those of you that feel this way about yourself, no matter what anybody says, I get it. Because I've been that person. I've felt that way. A lot of times I still feel that way. You always feel that way. Especially when you put on something and it fits tight and you decide not to put it back. You like the way it looks and you put it on and it don't fit right. And now you have to go buy something that you really don't like and you put on, and you just, it's that defeated feel. I hate it. This is important for your social life. This is important for the way you feel about yourself, for the way you think about yourself. For Jesus says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. And if this thing is changing the way you feel about yourself in your heart, then we can change it. And for those that have gone through any kind of a weight loss, whether it's 20 pounds or 50 pounds or 80 pounds or whatever it is, you realize weight is not permanent. Weight can come off, weight can come on. I mean, it's not like plastic surgery or having your nose fixed or getting a toupee or getting plastic surgery and changing the shape of your eyes, or I don't know. It's weight is relatively, it's hard, and I know it's going to be hard to digest this, but it's the easiest thing to change. But it's only easy if you get some help from the outside. And you gotta go find a trainer. You gotta go to a gym. You gotta go to another location. Because if you try to do it at home, you see all these things, do this at home. Oh God. And they have these people that say, well, I did this for 10 minutes a day and I lost 80 pounds. Come on, man. Come on. Anybody who's lost 80 pounds knows it doesn't work that way. I promise you those people were on specific diets. They were worked with by trainers. There's all sorts of stuff that they did to look that way. Because what happens when you're at home, there's too many other things to distract you. It's like going to church. When you're at church, you're there just to worship God. And you will worship God. And you'll listen to the word. But when you're at home and you try to have church at home, there's too many other things to distract. It's too easy to look over here, look over there. It's too easy to change the channel. It's too easy to cut it short. Part of the experience is being with other people who are going through what you go through. When you go to the gym, there's nothing else to do but work out. It's like going to church. This is what you're here for. And when you're there, you'll work out harder, you'll work out stronger, you'll work out better. And losing weight, and here's one thing, one little tip that I'll give you that'll really mean a lot. If you add water to your diet, some of you, like me, it's hard to drink a lot of water. Right? You just have to train yourself for it. And the simplest way to do it, just take a little bottle of water, maybe it's an 8 ounce or a 12 ounce, whatever it is, and just put it out in the morning, and just by the end of the day, make sure it's all gone. And then you start building on that. Because if you do that, and you do that every day, just to get that 12 ounces inside you, it'll be something that you probably haven't done. Now, some people love to drink water, but most people don't. Water it's magic. It's magic how it causes you to lose weight. The second thing is if you can walk, get out there and walk, because you'll burn more calories, you'll burn more fat by walking than you will by trying to go out and running. Running is hard. It's just, you got to be in shape for it. Your knees have to be in good shape, and you're bouncing yourself around. And there's too many things that can happen. So even if you just got out there, walked around the block one time every day, go out when there's not that many people out there. When just before dusk or early in the morning. I mean, you're not going to be alone. There's other people walking. Just getting out there and walking that one time, and drinking that one little thing of water, will help you tremendously, because that's aiming you in the right direction. But still, if you want something you've never had before, you got to do something you've never done before. You need somebody to help you. Like a church needs a pastor, like a community who doesn't want crime needs a police department. If you really want to lose weight, you need a trainer. Bring somebody in who knows something about weight loss that you don't. And I promise you, a lot of the things you think are going to work, that would work, don't work. Because that's why you're at, feeling where you're at. So if you just take that one little thing, just give it a try, I promise you, you'll see results. And you'll feel better about yourself. Look, the first time you go in the closet and you put on something and it fits looser than what has ever fit you, I know what you're going to want. You're going to want to go out and get a pizza and celebrate, but don't. The best thing is to get a glass of water and a peach or something like that. You'll learn that from the trainer.